Hi and welcome. I have a few thrift flip DIYs that I'm going to be using the IOD Spring Melody Rose collection, and I can't wait for you to see how they turned out. And I wanted to share with you, there will be some affiliate links on the screen as well as down below that I will be sharing with you so that you can purchase anything throughout my videos from here on out. Thank you so much. Now let's get to the video. For my first DIY thrift flip, I picked up these two wall pockets at the thrift store for $1.50 a piece, and they were pretty scuffed up, and I thought they'd be perfect for this DIY. They didn't look too great to begin with, so we're going to make them look pretty. So I gave these each 2 full coats of white linen Rust-Oleum chalk paint. And then before we let this second coat dry, we are going to press the paint inlay into the paint to get the image onto our project. So you want to make sure it's exactly where you want it before you lay it down, because it starts to kind of activate onto the paint, and then you want to firmly press down and smooth out the area gently as you're putting it into the paint. And then once this is all on there and rubbed in well, I'm just touching up here, then you want to let it sit and dry for at least, I did mine for 15 minutes, but it did need a little bit longer for this. I'm not sure. I must be doing something wrong with the paint, but my preference is to use Mod Podge and let the paint dry, then use Mod Podge over it, and it adheres better with the Mod Podge instead of the waiting for the paint to dry. I don't know. It might be just something I'm doing wrong. And here I'm just going to rub the back of it with a wet, damp cloth. You can spritz it too and then dab it off. You just want to reactivate it so that it gets wet a little bit more, so it's easier to pull back. And here I'm just gently pulling it back to show you what it looks like. And I think it turns out really pretty, but I did see I had a few pieces that were not adhered to the piece, so I had to redo that and let it dry and then peel it off again. So now that I reactivated it by letting it dry and then putting more dampness on it, I'm peeling it back slowly and revealing the picture, and it looks so pretty on this. And I wasn't too concerned about some of the portions not adhering to the paint, because I'm going to lightly distress this anyway to make it look like a vintage rose and that it had been there a while. And I just love how they turned out. But we're going to give them a coat over the top to protect it, and then design it, and I'll show you in a moment. So I thought it seemed a little plain on this one in particular, because the other one had a couple of roses behind, like little buds. So I cut a piece out from another one to add to this one so that it would balance out, and I'm going to cut around it to make it blend into that flower to look like it's behind it. So now I've already let it dry for a while, and I had already trimmed around the flower to make it look like it was behind, and I'm just peeling off now after reactivating that, and it turned out so pretty, and I think it helps balance it out where it was a little plain. So now I'm just taking I don't know the strength of this sandpaper, but it's just really light, and I don't want to scuff it up too much, but I kind of want to make it look a little bit old because I'm going for that vintage look. So I'm just kind of scuffing it up a little bit here and there to show some of the black behind and kind of scuffing up the flower. So now I'm taking this sage colored chalk paint and just doing the trim around the edge. It's almost kind of like a braiding but a twisted look to it, that I just want to give it that pretty little touch to match the leaves in the flower. And I'm going to do the back part where it's kind of curved on the back, and a little bit around the whole area where you hang something, so it kind of looks more decorative. And I really think the color just makes it pop. I originally put a finishing wax over this one and thought that's what I wanted on this one, and it's nice for certain things, but I think with the metal, I don't know, it just didn't seem right for me, and it didn't give me the feel that I wanted. I want to resell these, so I wanted it to be really protected really well. So I did give it this one coat of this, but then after it dried, I ended up putting Mod Podge on it and on both of them, and it just looks so much better and protects it better. And here I'm just putting it inside the pocket so far down with the paint so that you don't see the rusty look that was in there before, and it just turns out super pretty. I picked up this cute little jewelry box for $1 at the thrift store, and as you can tell, it's pretty roughed up, and I just saw a lot of potential in this cute little piece. So I got some soapy water and I'm just wiping it down really well to give it a good clean surface to start off with. And I even tried to clean the inside of that velvet, thinking, you know, sometimes when you use soapy water on it, it would possibly come clean, but this one did not. So now I'm just going to sand just the top portion of this box completely off. I wanted to make sure I had a good surface for painting. So make sure to wipe everything off with the dust because you don't want any of that on there. So before I even start painting, I'm going to use my sweater shaver on the back of this because it's felt and it had all those little roughed up parts of the fabric. So I used that and it made it look so much better. See how nice? So now I'm using my Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint, and it's going to get 2 coats on this. So I'm just painting that top portion and leaving that really pretty mahogany stain on the bottom because I thought it was a really pretty contrast. So I do want to let you know that I do have some links down in my description as well as on the screen if you want to purchase anything from this video. So now I'm going to take a good coat of Mod Podge on the base of this wood here, and then just in the area of where I want the flower to go. I find that using the Mod Podge works so much better for me for some reason being wet, because I think it dries faster and it just makes it easier to deal with. So I'm just pressing down on it just like before, and then spritzing it to get the back of the grid wet, and then just dabbing it and smoothing out any areas that might be ruffled because you don't want that in your design. So now that it has completely dried, I'm just going to spritz the back and dampen it so that it reactivates that backing to be able to pull it off. So be careful when you pull it off, and then just slowly reveal your image. And this one turned out so pretty that I just love this one. So look how pretty the flower's coming out, and you want to be gentle with it so that it doesn't pull any of the color away from the paint so that you have a perfect piece. So I'm just trying really slowly to be careful with it. And look how pretty. And now I'm just taking off, you know how the paper gets stuck to the project? I've got to learn maybe to cut it a little bit closer so it doesn't leave that residue on the backing around the image, and I'm just touching up where I kind of wiped off. So look how pretty it is already. And so I'm just taking a light sanding paper, I think it said 120, and I'm just lightly sanding around the frame of the top of the box. I don't want to over distress this just because it wouldn't match the bottom portion very well, so I'm just doing that. So now I'm taking this antiquing wax over all of the little areas that kind of have where the stain is coming off and showing the wood through. I didn't want them to like stick out too much, but I do want it to look kind of vintage. So, and I didn't have any mahogany stain available. It's kind of pricey for just to do this little piece, so I didn't want to do that for this, and plus it worked out great. So I still, like I said, wanted it to look vintage, and I just wanted to not make those little wood parts that were showing through so stark. And also I kind of blended in the edges of this, as you can see here, so that it would kind of blend into the wood on the bottom. And then I'm just going to take some water and kind of just blend that in a little bit better on the white so that it's not so stark, and it just turns out really pretty. And then I'm just touching up the paint around where the transfer had left some markings so that it looks more white and pretty. So for now I'm leaving the outside until I'm done with this, so I'm not scraping up anything. But I wanted to take the cardboard piece where the velvet is lined on to replace that lining. At first I was going to use it as a template, but then I thought, why not just recover it and use that same cardboard? So it was a little difficult to get out because they had glued it in really well, but I just scraped out the excess so when I put it back in it's not lumpy, and made sure to sand it down some as well. Okay, so I'm just lining this up, and I've cut the corners of where I want to size it around that cardboard, and I'm just going to cut it down to size. Okay, so now that it's the size I want, I'm just going to flip this so that the velvet side is sticking down to the back, and I'm going to use a brayer to flatten it out so that no bubbles or anything are in it. And then I'm just trimming back in the corners so that when you fold it forward it won't be bulky, and it just works really great on this. So I'm just cutting off all four corners, and now I'm just going to fold that back and have the adhesive stick to the back of the cardboard. And then I trim any excess in between the cutout parts just so that it doesn't bulge too much. And then using the brayer really helped to smooth out all of those pieces. Now I'm just making sure it's flat and getting all of the sides folded back up to create like the box, and then it fits perfectly back into. So now I'm taking some Gorilla wood glue and just putting a generous coat on the back, and then on all of the back of the sides. So now that I have all of the glue on, I'm just going to press it down and do my best not to get too much glue on the outside, which I didn't do too bad. Just gonna get some a wet towel and just wipe off the excess glue. I'm trying to push really well up against the wood so that it will stay in there and just glue in place. So I'm using polyacrylic to cover the top of it, and I did not like how it turned out, and I shouldn't have used this because I always use Mod Podge on projects like this, and it kind of smeared the image a bit, so I didn't really like the feel of it or the look of it. So I ended up using Mod Podge at the end, and I'm sorry I didn't get any footage of that. So of course you want to clean it with some really good cleaner. This is one of the best ones I've seen. Hubby gets it all the time for the vehicles, and it cleans glass and mirrors really well. And so I cleaned it up really good and it is finished. This next DIY or thrift flip is a vase that I picked up for $1.50 and at the thrift store. It's made in China. It's just a simple white vase. I was gonna paint it and do like a rock speckled look to it, but I thought these flowers would look really pretty on it, and it's just a simple transformation. I didn't paint it, I didn't do anything. I'm just going to Mod Podge this flower on and wait till you see how it turns out. It's so pretty. So when you're doing like a rounded surface, you want to kind of trim some of it so it lays flat and just kind of smooth it out, and be careful not to smear it at all. Just be really gentle while you're straightening it out. And then again, of course, the water, spritz it on or use a damp rag. I usually spritz it and then just dab it off, and here I'm just kind of trying to get it smoothed out so there isn't any wrinkles. So now I'm doing the top portion for the flower. On top there's a tiny little bud that I thought would look perfect for this space here because it was kind of plain. So I'm putting this cute little bud on top, and we're gonna spritz it and do the same thing and wait for it to dry. So it's time to reveal the flowers, and I've already wet the back of this and I'm just peeling gently to reveal it, and look how pretty that is already. I just love this vase. It turned out so pretty. And the bottom I had already started, but I had to redo it to activate it again so that it would adhere all of the flower. It wasn't coming off right. And now this time it ends up coming off looking super pretty. Look at the color on it. It's just, I love these roses. And IOD does these, and I forgot to mention it this whole video, but IOD sells these, and they're just amazing color, amazing products. I love IOD. So then you just want to wipe off that excess backing from the paper, and it doesn't show up on your project. So here is some clear matte Rust-Oleum top coat, and I'm just spraying this whole thing so it has the same sheen all the way around, and also to protect your image. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun creating these, and don't forget, if you like this video, to continue to watch more of my videos and share them and comment and like. And also, don't forget to click on some of the links if you're interested in creating the same look. I will have everything linked down below and on the screen. Thank you so much again, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.